Hello everyone, Strikoder here and welcome back to a new episode of the OSCP journey where we go together until we take the OSCP and secure that. So here, let's just get started. Jerry, it's an easy Windows machine. In case you don't know Jerry, it's from a cartoon called Tom and Jerry. Just in case, haha, yeah, I know it's not funny. Maybe you are isolated or you are from a different culture, I don't know. However, let's just get started. Okay, so in here I will try to bring the box. The box is up. I'm gonna add that to the etc hosts. Then I'm gonna run against that rust scan. Check what do we have here. Which port's gonna be up? 8080. Then I'm gonna say nmap. Scan that against the 8080. And open the browser. It's open already. I've prepared the material what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna say here T1. Okay, T1 8080. So here we see Apache Tomcat. We can voila exploit. Yeah, and we can search exploit Apache Tomcat 7. Here we see several stuff. We can check the code. Or before checking the code, to be honest, let's just check the website. So we see different default configurations, server status. Voila, we see a login page. Let's try admin. Okay, with admin we have access. That's great. What do we have as well? Why can't I reach the manager app? So with admin, I don't have access to everything. Okay, let me just settings, history, clear history. Maybe that is the stuff. And HTTP. So can I say admin? No, we don't have access to everything. So we need to reach, in best case, the manager app. So let's just try to, since it's the default page and we had the admin with the server status, let's try and search for the credentials. I would say Apache, Tomcat, default, creds. Here we see the first one. We see GitHub. Let's download that. We copy the link. We go back to here. Have I ran nmap? Yep. So the nmap we have the Apache Tomcat Coyote. I don't know how to pronounce that. JSP engine. Okay. I don't really care right now. So there are two different ways to brute force the credentials. The first through MSF. So I used to run MSF through service Postgres QL run, then MSF dash Q for running without the gibberish emojis, or by MSFDB run, which is a hint provided by Ibzek by one of his videos. However, since we are on our way to the OSCP, I prefer to do that the manual way. So let's just get started. I would say make directory Jerry. So here we see Cypher. I was doing the active Cypher machine. cd jerry, and I would say wget. Let's try that. Okay, now we say hydra. So you see it's already done. I just need to change the IB, or I can say T1 and then default DNS resolution, but that might slows things a little bit down. But we have only few stuff, and I need to feed that the file. Okay, the S flag for the port, and we gonna try to get into the manager HTML. Why? You will see a little bit later, since we need that for an RCE exploit. Let's try to run that, and we see 0 valid passwords found. However, there is a caveat, which is we have spaces over here. That's why Hydra doesn't take that correctly. So what do we need to do is writing a bash script to remove the spaces. So I would say dash capital E for extended regex, and we're gonna write the next bash script whenever we see space between before and after the semicolon, space. We're gonna replace all of that by just the semicolon, and we close that. Where we gonna do that? Here, and we're gonna say default. Let's get the defaults. If I might type that correctly. And voila, now everything is ready for the Hydra. Let's try that again. I'm gonna close that, delete that, I mean, defaults. So here we see admin. Probably that was the default for the actual login, but not for the manager. I don't know actually. If you know, let me know in the comments why here it shows the admin. But here what we are interested in, the Tomcat secret. So let's go back. Let's check our manager app. Okay, let's refresh. I need to delete history again, maybe. Let me change that. T1 8080. Nah, not using Bing, bro. So let me try again to delete the history. Let me close that. I'm gonna provide the link for the GitHub in the description. Default credentials, manager app. I'm still getting that. Okay, I don't really know why. However, you can just try to go into manager app. We are not that interested in the interface of the manager app. What we are interested in is the RCE. So let's check this RCE. What do we have to provide? So it's a Python. Okay. So we provide that options, URL, web shell, and host list. So we only provide the URL and it works. Maybe, let's try that. However, I believe it's an old script, that's why we're gonna have some issues. Let's try that. I haven't tried that, to be honest. We can either copy that, copy that and paste that, or we can just take the number and say search exploit -m the provided number. We have it here, Python 3. I was doing Active Directory stuff. Okay, let's try to provide the URL http t1 and what is the bound? Generate web shell and upload it. Okay, a web shell. I don't like web shells. Let's try different stuff. I want an RCE immediately. Oops, I keep going back to my machine. So there is an RCE called warsend on GitHub. You can check that. I've tried that and I've submitted a pull request that I've submitted a pull request that it worked on this machine, so we can just clone that. It's easier. Since we are on the OSCP journey, we can try all paths. You can try if this might work. However, I'm gonna try the easiest way and the fastest way. Git clone, cd warsend, and here, what do we need to provide? Oops. So we provide the, okay, we provide lhost, and do we have the stuff? Lhost, I believe, and lport. So let me check our IB 10.10.14, okay, and we say, maybe if I run that, it would tell me, first of all, chmod plus x warsend, then warsend. Yeah, so it tells me lport lhost. Our lhost is, so let me try that. I've used that before, and 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here, let me get, oops, the IB. You can get the IB or you can type T1, however I prefer it this way. Okay, who am I? We are anti-authority system. Let's get back. I keep using ls because my main machine is Linux. Now we can cd into users and get our flags. Cd administrator. Cd desktop. Cd flags. And oops, type 2 for the price of 1.txt. Okay, type 2 for the price of 1. Bruh, how we... I don't actually know how to show that. Let me Google that. Or no, let me try again. Maybe we can say type and all of that, including the .text, maybe. For the price of 1.txt, and voila, we got that. Let's submit the flags. Oh, that was not tough, to be honest. But however, that was it. Thank you guys. YouTube is recommending you to watch this playlist and this video, so be sure to watch them, and see you on the next episode. Good luck.